To every anti-spin, there must be an in-spin, and gunslingers are no different. Drex here from Drex Factor Poi, sharing with you the love of poi spinning and flow arts to benefit your body and brain, and today, I'm heading back down that gunslinger rabbit hole to give you the inside scoop on how to do them in in-spin. Before we dive in, I just want to give a quick shout out to the friends of the channel. Big thanks to Dark Monk, Flow Fests, Flow Toys, Juggling Calling, Pyroterra Light Toys, Spinballs, and Ultra Poi for helping to make the videos on this channel possible. You can learn more about all of these amazing businesses and what they're doing to support flow artists like yourself by checking out the links that I have down in the description of this video. And special thanks to non-business friends of the channel, Johnny Howard, Lain Mochinsky, and Pekka Pekkonen. Thank you so very much for your support for my work and my mission. Gunslinger flowers are awesome. They're the whole reason I learned how to do gunslingers in the first place. It was gunslinger anti-spins that first piqued my curiosity. Anti-spin flowers are a cornerstone of techniques for creating hybrids, so I could instantly see the utility of getting them down with gunslingers as well. But soon after I got my anti-spin gunslingers down, it also became apparent that there had to be an in-spin variant. I mean, if you can do anti-spin, you can do in-spin with a given flower. Clearly. In traditional poi spinning, many of us learn our in-spin flowers before our anti-spin flowers. This is because the motion of having the poi spin in the same direction as our hands feels overall more intuitive and close to what we already know how to do. When we switch to anti-spin, the poi's momentum is now fighting against the movement of the hand, resulting in a very different kinesthetic experience that we have to train ourselves to gain more control of over time. And it has to be said, because anti-spin flowers are so overrepresented in hybrids and other tech poi techniques, a lot of us in the tech poi world get kind of fixated on them and forget all about in-spin flowers. And that comes back to bite us when it comes to gunslingers. In theory, the exact same techniques one uses to learn anti-spin gunslinger flowers should also work for learning in-spin gunslingers. To review, you start by simply doing waist wraps going back and forth between 2-beat, thumb lead, and pinky lead weaves across the front of your body. You then pop your hand up, going from forward to reverse, and drop it down, going from reverse to forward, to turn it into the 10-petal gunslinger flower that we all know and love. If you want more detail on the techniques for learning this, I did a tutorial specifically on it that I will go ahead and link to down in the description, as well as up in the cards if you're watching on YouTube. So to learn an in-spin gunslinger, it should just be the opposite, right? Again, start with waist wraps going back and forth between 2-beat thumb lead and pinky lead weaves. This time though, we're going to drop our hand going from forward to reverse and pop it up going from reverse to forwards. Easy peasy, right? Well, not so much. I don't know about you, but I had an incredibly difficult time going to in-spin, and I think there are several reasons why. First up, this may not be immediately clear while learning an anti-spin gunslinger flower, but it is primarily driven by your thumb end. Namely, when we switch from thumb lead to pinky lead, we are doing it by popping up the thumb end to let the pinky end get past it, and when we drop our pinky end going back the other way, it's to let the thumb end take the lead again. The only place we really have to do much work with our pinky end is when we arrive on our reverse side, and even then, it's only for a brief moment. So here's the thing. The in-spin gunslinger turns out to be more pinky led. When we drop our hand, we have to do a lot of pushing with our pinky end to get it to come around into the lead position. And likewise, when we pop our hand up, we are reaching into it with our pinky end. And being as how most of our traditional poi spinning is done from our thumb end, getting a good amount of energy behind our pinky end can be a little bit of a stretch, especially if our poi aren't evenly weighted, as is the case with the contact poi that I usually use for gunslingers. So what can we do to build up our ability to really drive that pinky end and make those in-spin flowers a little bit more accessible? I've got a couple ideas. First up is a drill that I honestly just think is good practice for playing with gunslinger flowers in general. Pick a top or bottom side and just practice moving your hand back and forth across it as you turn from your forward to reverse side. Think that you'll just sweep back and forth above your head for 10 reps and then down past your knees for another 10 reps. Not only will this start to build up your ability to lead with your pinky end, it also gives you more flexibility in terms of being able to break your gunslinger flowers apart and use them as caps if you like. Second, this is going to sound like utter nonsense, but it's also helpful to have your gunslinger spiral wraps down cold. Specifically, you should be able to spiral wrap straight back and forth, both clockwise and counterclockwise on demand, without having to drop back into a weave. Why is that? The thing that really makes this infinite spiral wrap work is being able to get the momentum in the pinky end moving. as you switch back and forth, part of what's being built up is the control and strength necessary to engage the pinky end, and that will help you for leading with the same end in your inspin flowers. And finally, I have saved the most obvious tip for last. Practice with 2 poi in a meteor grip. Not only will this slow down everything in the trick to give you time to adjust, but also because your thumb and pinky ends will be evenly weighted, it'll require less effort to keep them both moving. Think of this as kind of being like training wheels in some ways. It's an opportunity to be able to do the trick without having to put quite as much effort on the pinky end, and it lets you take it much, much slower. Either way, just know that doing gunslinger flowers in Inspin are really challenging. They took me more than a year and a half to get down after I first picked up my anti-spin flowers, and are still a huge challenge for me. Be patient and work the problem a little bit at a time. It will pay off in the long run. I hope some of these tips help, friends. If you get down those Inspin Gunslinger flowers, make sure to post a video to social media and tag me in it so I can check out your hard work. Did you get anything out of this video? Please make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to help other people find it and to help my channel grow. This video would not be possible if not for the wonderful support of all of these amazing people right here. These are my Flow patrons over on Patreon, and they, along with the people listed down in the description, help to make this video and all the videos on my channel possible. Thank you one and all for your support. Do you like my videos? Do you like my flow sessions, vlogs, reviews, combos, and more? I'm on a mission to try and bring poi spinning and flow arts to the wider world and help people connect with their brains and their bodies. So help me do it. Head on over to patreon.com/DrexFactorPoi and sign up. You can do that at the link in the description or the card that just popped up if you are watching on YouTube. There you can get access to a whole host of awesome rewards and help me along in my mission. Do check that out, please and thank you. What are your favorite poi gunslinger tricks? Can you do the Inspin flowers? What other tricks do you like to combine them with? Let me know down in the comments. In the meantime, I will leave a link to other gunslinger tutorials that I've done down in the description, as well as up on screen if you are watching on YouTube. Be sure to get out and flow today, and I'll see you with a new video on Friday. Peace.